Watch me up. I know I have to make the breakfast tea. I know how that goes, though. Mm-hmm. Schumer shutdown, day 36. The Democrats have failed. They might have won some district attorney races, some governor races, and that's not insignificant. But they have failed royally by keeping the government shut down. No one's going to extend Obamacare and health care for illegal aliens. That's just not going to happen. So. Okay. So what happened with the United Parcel Service is the UPS, they cut 48,000 fucking jobs, and they thought, UPS thought they were going to get away with it, right? No, they're not going to get away with it. So they're going to try to replace UPS and FedEx with robots like Jeff Bezos and AI. And it's going to, a lot of people are going to fucking die. It's basically going to happen. So corporate America thinks they're going to play it cheap by trying to invest in AI and robots and firing all the humans. That's basically what it's about. It's not really about left and right. It's really about good versus evil. It's not really about left and right. It's about the haves and the have-nots, the elites versus all of us. That's what it's really about. Yeah, so 9 people are injured, 3 people are dead. Maybe some others will pass away from their very grave injuries because UPS is betting on fucking satanic robots instead of human beings. Now, I, for instance, wouldn't trust my life with satanic Luciferian robots and satanic AI. I don't really place my faith in automated androids and facsimiles of humans. I don't, because real humans, I know, might be flawed. They might, have certain sins. They might have certain inequities, I guess, like everybody else does. But a human's going to come through a lot more often than a fucking robot. I know they're going to say, this robot's perfect. I know what they're going to say. This is the most intelligent, super advanced AGI we ever had. Yeah. And it's going to fail, and tons of people are going to die, and there's going to be 300 people at the bottom of a river, and society's going to fucking wonder why. I already know why. I already told you why. For the simple fact that man is not God. God created man. And man is a superior creature. And anything man creates is shit. That's the way it's always been. That's the way it's always going to be. Man cannot play God. Man is not God. And unfortunately, we have satanic Luciferian figures like Mark Zuckerberg, the Mark of the Beast Zuckerberg, and Peter Thiel, and these individuals that want to play God. These billionaires that their hobby is they want to be gods, like Jeff Bezos. The fact is, they're going to get sick, they're going to fall, and they're going to die, and they're going to get old and fucking die like everybody else. There's nothing that makes them special except their bank accounts. That's it. So that's the hard hitting truth. You put humanity's future in the care of robots or advanced general intelligence or super intelligence, we're fucked. Just like the Terminator movies. No joke, that is the real, honest to God truth. Okay, so let's make some food then. All right. Well, then, get some of that coffee. Yeah. The Schumer shutdown, day 36. Pure Democrat incompetence. Yeah. Pure Schumer shutdown. Schumer is afraid of the younger people taking his shit, so he's having a shit attack. He's having a huge, yeah. Well, somehow it doesn't dawn on a 75-year-old senator or politician to just fucking retire. No one wants to see your old ass in a wheelchair. It doesn't dawn on him that no one wants to see his ass anymore. It doesn't register in his fucking power-hungry brain. Because, remember, senators and congresspeople aren't told no. The only way they can be told no is every 2 years by American voters, or every 6 years as a senator. But other than that, Congress people aren't told no in terms of they don't have term limits. Unfortunately, the founding fathers did not write term limits for our Congress people. That's why we have the Nancy Pelosi's, the Mitch McConnells, and the Chuck Toomer's and the Smug Toomers fucking us in the ass and running up our debt and stealing our fucking taxpayer money year after year. Because the founding fathers, God bless the founding fathers of the United States of America, but they made one tragic flaw that could damn the entire republic, which is allowing no term limits on congressional members. The people that control the taxpayer money and the purse, the legally paid criminals that we elect. Okay, because they are criminals and they steal our money and they waste our money and they waste our lives and they get away with it because it's fucking legal. Is there a difference between these two types of gangsters? Tren de Agua uses a gun to people's face and these people use a pen to steal our livelihoods. Is there really a difference between the gun and the pen? Not really too much. The pen and the sword are pretty equivalent at this point. The Democrats' idea is that we're going to fuck up shit, or the deep state, or the military, industrial, pharmaceutical, technological state media propaganda, Democrat Party complex. Their idea is that whether we release a virus, whether we gerrymander, whether we cause chaos in the skies, we're going to cause chaos for the Republicans, and we're going to do as much damage as possible before the midterm elections so they could try to recapture the Congress. Now, I've seen since Trump was reelected by the people, there are certain swamp creatures in Washington, in the deep state, in our country, that don't want people in charge of our own country, don't want American citizens in charge of our own country. That's why Joe Biden and Harris, they flooded our fucking country with 10 to 12 million illegal aliens. Somebody in the world or some elite does not want American people in charge of American destiny. It's pretty evident by now. Not trying to be a conspiracy theorist, but a conspiracy realist. Somebody ain't for us. We ain't in the big fucking club. You and I aren't in it. And so I'm not saying it's Chris Carter X-Files, 12 guys in a room smoking cigars and cigarettes, but it kind of is, isn't it? That's why the X-Files was so entertaining. All our lives are ruled by 12 guys smoking cigars in some plush estate. You know what? Hey, dear lady. But whether it's Mao Zedong, Zoran, Antichrist, Madami, moron, dim dummy, communism and socialism will always lead to suffering, financial, physical, and eventually lead to death and destruction of empire. Whether it's Chairman Mao, whether it's Pol Pot, socialism, the Nazi socialist, the Nazis in World War II will always lead to death and destruction. Joseph Stalin, Vladimir Lenin, communism and socialism always leads to the end of empire, always leads to death, destruction, and Americans are willing to gamble if they vote for Democrat and socialist and Marxist and communist that they're going to get free stuff. So Americans, some portion of the American public are willing to trade their freedoms and liberties and constitutionally guaranteed rights for an iPhone 18 or a fucking Microsoft 12. And that's the sad tragedy of our republic, is that people will betray our republic for toys, for shiny free stuff. I know there are some people out there that are like, hell yeah, I'll sell my soul for the iPhone 15, iPhone 18. Yeah, that's the problem, not the solution. So you get like a let me get some well, I know what the baby tumors are doing, the baby boomers. They're like, man, if I was just 20 years younger, man, I'd be able to keep up, you know? So Chuck Toomer and the baby boomers, he might be older than a baby boomer. Maybe he's part of the silent generation or the elder generation or something. He's way older. He's like 75 or something, right? I think he's older than a baby boomer. He's like the father of the baby boomers. Yeah, he's way older. I know what the baby boomers are thinking. They're thinking, well, I got all this power. I work my ass off for all this stuff. Well, I'm going to keep it. It's mine. Yeah, that's what they're going to think. Yeah. Yeah. It's all mine. I worked for it. I built it. I was blessed after World War II. This is mine. It's all mine. Yeah, I'm never gonna have to retire because I'm uninvincible. They're just jealous of the Generation Z and the Millennials, our youth and vitality. They want that, but they can't have it because it's not for sale. Now, one theme by the media I've seen ever since Trump was elected, have you noticed that there's been a lot of FAA? There's been a lot of air crashes. So obviously they're building up. The Democrat shutdown is to make the FAA, it's to make flying the friendly skies not so friendly, so that they have a disaster before the 2026 elections. So you can see this theme being played out by the Democrat Party. Why are the Democrats and the DC swamp creatures so concentrated on this theme of airline dysfunction? Why are they so fixated on it since Trump was elected? Does anybody really have the answer for that? So there was a major crash in Ronald Reagan National Airport. Maybe they can cause riots and stuff in Washington, D.C. easier than they can anywhere else in the country. So they picked to create disasters by Ronald Reagan National Airport. Okay. So what is the deal with all this FAA shit? Right? Like, what is going on? Yeah, I know they have trouble. The Democrats shut down the government, and now they can't get enough of the air traffic controllers and the TSA and all that. So, are they trying to create a disaster, a terror attack, or a major plane disaster before the midterm elections and try to blame it on the Republicans after hundreds of people die? I'm not really sure if they're that evil and sinister to kill people to regain power, but let's assume that those in power are willing to kill for power. Let's just put that on the table. So we have ourselves a little. Have yourself merry little Christmas. May your seasons be bright. 48,000 job cuts at UPS and 30,000 at Amazon. Merry Christmas being replaced by AI and robots and androids. Yeah. Everybody having a great Christmas so far? Okay. Have yourself a little Merry Christmas now when you can't afford fucking shit. Yeah. So the Democrats are trying to cause chaos in the skies, chaos with SNAP benefits and food right before the holidays. They're hoping that they can blame and shift the blame to the Republican Party in a crisis that they're creating. They're creating crisis and chaos because they don't have power. And so this is their version of a tantrum. They're upset. Now, the last time the Democrats weren't in power and Hillary Clinton was defeated in 2016, they released a virus in 2019 by Wuhan Virology Institute, and they rigged the media and they rigged social media and big tech, and they rigged the institutions to basically nullify the 2020 and steal the 2020 election in favor of Biden-Harris, this atrocious cancer that we had to experience for 4 years. How do I know they planned it? Because a chaotic disaster is going to happen 6 months to a year before a major congressional or presidential election. All right, so if you notice some major disaster happening 6 months to a year before an election and Republicans are in control, I know exactly who to blame, the Democrat Party or the deep state military, industrial, pharmaceutical, technological state media complex. I know exactly who to blame and who's throwing the shit fit that they're not in power. Their shit fit is that American people are in control of our own country. The elites, the bi-coastal elites, don't like that. The global liberal satanic Luciferian order does not like when American citizens run our own country. Yeah. So Nancy Pelosi's plan was to do insider Wall Street trading, become a multimillionaire or almost billionaire, and then to run up our national debt almost to 40 trillion fucking dollars and saddle our asses with the burden of the chaos that Mitch McConnell and Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi wrought, and Joe Biden and all the other fucking criminals that we need to lock up. Because it wasn't queers versus straights. It wasn't left versus right. It wasn't blue versus red. It's always been the haves and the have-nots. That's the real war in this world. It's always been good versus evil. It's always been God versus Satan. So that's our real war. It's a spiritual war against Satan. And if we don't win it, we will just become Chinese communist satanic slaves of the AI android beast systems, the 666 system. Yeah. So in the past, if you didn't learn the code and get a big education with George W. Bush and John Kerry at Yale or Harvard or Oxford, well, what happened if you weren't born into the right family of privilege and you couldn't afford to go to Harvard or Yale, right? What would you do then? Well, they had these things called fallback jobs, at Kroger's, at Walmart, they had other jobs that were available, and these were like the backup jobs, right? They had the job at Taco Bell just in case you needed to get on your feet real quick. You know what I mean? And these jobs could maybe even pay some bills, barely. Maybe you could get by on minimum wage, but you could just get by. And these were backup in case you made bad decisions or you had a crack or alcohol addiction or something or childhood trauma or whatever. You had a backup. You had a way out. You had a little bit of a leg up instead of a handout, right? Yeah. So back in the day, they used to have backup jobs. These were like, well, if I fucked up my life and I'm not a big winner in society, well, I could go apply to HEB or something. You know what I mean? So it was a good like backup. Like, well, if I didn't go to Harvard and learn to code like my friends because I wasn't rich enough, well, then I could do a backup job at the KFC or something. Okay. I know it's minimum wage. I'm not going to survive, but like there's going to be nothing in the bank account anyway after all the bills, after all the rent and the mortgages and the electricity and the utilities and the grocery. But hey, I'm going to get by, so I can go back to my slaving job again. So there was a leg up for people who didn't have parents that were, Zorhan Mandami and left them millions of dollars. Okay, so there was a leg up for people that weren't born already into wealthy families in the past. There were backup jobs and stuff that people could do to survive the system. Okay. So you had your basic jobs, right, in society? The burger flipper. The basic, like most of the jobs that the teenagers usually do. All right. They used to have unskilled labor, right? And then Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, they shipped off through the North American Free Trade Agreement. They shipped off a lot of those jobs to the Chinese communists where they could get cheap slave and child labor in India and China. Yeah, making the eggs, I know. So Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton gutted the Rust Belt in the manufacturing sector that was once strong and mighty in the United States of America. So that was the first shot against the American worker and American jobs was the NAFTA agreement that shipped our jobs overseas and our manufacturing base in the hands of our dangerous adversaries and enemies like the Chinese Mao Zedong communists. Now, we didn't know that William Jefferson, Jeffrey Epstein Clinton we thought he was just smoking weed and he was just getting his dick sucked by some 23-year-old girls and just being a fuck all. We thought he was just having fun, going to the Fleetwood Mac concert, getting his dick blown, you know, going to Epstein Island, going to Booty Hole. We just thought he was just Bubba. You know what I mean? Bubba being Bubba. We But for those who knew, he was fucking over and selling out the American people for the liberal global world order. So Bubba was doing more than getting his wiener sucked in the Oral Office by 24-year-old girls. He was doing a lot more sinister things at Epstein Island and selling out and selling his soul to Satan and selling out the American people and the American worker and destroying the American dream, ensuring that America would fall. In other words, with Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and all their criminal friends. We do a little slider thing. Yeah. All right. So, if you're ever in Texas and you're like, man, I wonder why there's so many people from Michigan in Texas. That's NAFTA. They took all their manufacturing jobs up there. All right. They gutted out the Midwest, the Rust Belt. Yeah. So that's why they're all down here in Texas. Because the cost of living is too high up there in the Midwest, in Michigan, all right, Illinois. That's why all these people are in Texas and Houston from Chicago and fucking Michigan. It's like, if life was so great up there, wouldn't they just stay up there? Well, they're not staying up there. If life was so great in California, then why the fuck are all the Californians in Texas? It's like people used to go to New York and used to go to California and say, fuck Texas, fuck this. They don't even smoke weed here. Look at these conservative Christian buttholes. Right? They used to laugh at us, right? Yeah. Not anymore. Maybe they come here and they laugh at us. They're like, give me your shit. But basically, it's a John Carpenter movie, Escape from LA, Escape from California, Escape from New York, Escape from Chicago. Yeah, I mean, he could have his whole series right there. Escape from Chicago, Escape from New York, Escape from Minnesota, Escape from Michigan. He could have his whole series. He already has Escape from New York and Escape from LA. How did he know? Even though he was probably from LA or something. You know, he wasn't really downing the place where he was from, was he? He was just kind of prophetically telling the future. That would be like me, a native Texan, shitting on Texas. That just wouldn't happen, normally speaking. I know the baby boomers and the elders are like, I can drink you under the table, son. And I'm like 45. So, yeah, old people could try to race me at the track. And I could try to arm wrestle a 22-year-old. But the fact of the matter is, yeah, the facts are the facts, aren't they? So, I know. The old man tries to race me at the track, right? And he's fucking 85 years old, and good on him. And I love it. And he's got shades on, and he looks like Joe Biden with the aviators, and he looks like he belongs in 1955 or something. And God bless them trying to race me at the track, but they ain't young anymore. You know what I mean? But hey, good on him. Good on him for still getting out. He could just be watching the news with a thumb up his ass, right? So good on him for getting out. So. Yeah, my father was a track runner in high school. So, a marathon runner, actually. I don't know if that's the Native American Cherokee, but good runners, right? Yeah. Good sprinters, good dashers. Yeah. But life is about going the distance. Life is not just a sprint. Life is as Dr. Phil would say, life is all about that long game. It's about making it, life is a marathon. It's not a 40-yard dash. So the Democrats are taking a really awful gamble that they're going to cause. So they can't do a plague and release a new Wuhan communist Chinese plague because people are going to know. They're going to know it's some pharmaceutical industry, evil satanic bullshit. So they've already tried the virus thing to regain power, and they regained the executive and the legislative branch of the U.S. government using the Chinese Communist plague in 2019 and 2020. That's how they stole the elections and rigged the elections back then. Everybody knows that they fucking, at least they didn't outright steal it, they fucking rigged it. You know they did. And like Gonzalo Lira said, they fucking rigged the 2022 elections again. That Coach Red Pill, he said they fucking did it again using the Sam Bankman-Fried, the Sam Bankman fraud FTX crypto scandal, and they rigged that bitch too to steal the midterm elections of 2022 to make sure that they still had full executive and legislative control of the U.S. government. And now they're trying again, but they can't try a plague this time, right? Because it's too obvious. If there's a mysterious unknown disease X breaks out right now, and they try to lock down the elections of 2026 on America's 250th anniversary, mind you, which is even more evil, doing that on America's birthday. You got some sunshine? I love you, baby. Yeah. I have to go clean up the poo-poo. No, they can't do that. So I guess they're going to go with airline terror. Yeah, I think they're going to go with starving American people, laying off tons of American people due to automation and AI. And it looks like they're going to do airline catastrophe and American SNAP starvation. And they're going to do massive layoffs due to robots. I think that's the angle they're going with. And the Democrats are going to do what they always do when they try to steal power from Republicans. They're going to say, hope and change and the bright future ahead of socialism and communism. That's what they're going to do again. So, yeah. Join the great tomorrow of the liberal utopia. Join us. What they're going to do is hope and change. New way forward. Bold destiny forth. Hope and change. No child left behind. So they're going to do. They're gonna do hope and change. A Muslim, socialist, communist, jihadi sympathizer. It's gonna be the Antichrist. They're gonna put forth, right? Whether it's that conquistadora AOC with the sweet young Latina booty, or they're going to try that Gavin Newscomb, that American Psycho looking motherfucker who looks like Gordon Gekko from Wall Street in the 80s, right? In the 1980s. They're gonna run Patrick Bateman. They're gonna run American Psycho. It's basically what they're gonna do. All right. They've tried the female thing twice and it's failed twice. So they're gonna launch up a female again. Well, there's a lot of male voters. I mean, if the country was like, I don't know, 90% female, if we were like an Amazon nation or something, if we were like Wonder Woman people, then it would be fine. If we were all lesbians and women and it was all just one big Amazon world or something, it would be fine. But there's a lot of male voters. So, yeah, there's a lot of, at least half. So, my God. Okay. Yeah. Should we have the breakfast tea? Well, it's still technically the AM. So we could still have brunches until 2. So you could still have a brunch from I think is it 11 a.m. to 2 is the brunch times? And then you could have a dinner lunch from 2 to at least, I guess, 5. You could have a dunch. And then after that, you could have a dinner or a supper, as they would call it, and maybe down here in the South. But a lot of people don't celebrate dunch quite enough. I know, babe. Okay. Gotta get those eggs chopped up. Yeah. Is it too hot for the baby hooch? Don't worry. We're going to have eggy, but it needs to cool off, okay? I know. Okay. Hold up. I realize. But the egg needs to cool off, okay? It's okay, too. The food is coming. Don't worry. So the Democrats are going to try to create a crisis. FAA, Federal Aviation Administration, something in the sky. Like I know they tried a big catastrophe in D.C. when the helicopter pilot. They did DEI hires where they hire women and minorities, and they don't check on their qualifications because they're trying to promote anybody that's not straight white male like ourselves, like some of us out there. Right. So they had a female pilot that sucked ass, and a plane was struck by this military helicopter because of DEI policies, and hundreds of people died and went into the Potomac River. And so they're dead now. Because, they're willing to DEI promote nurses that haven't been through the proper training and pilots that haven't been through the proper training, all in the name of socioeconomic justice, equality, or some bullshit like that. The Democrats want to replace European heritage in our country, European white, Caucasian, English-speaking heritage. It's called the Great Replacement. Okay, here we go. Here's breakfast, Steve. There you go. Get your egg. Okay. So Schumer is terrified of getting primaried by AOC as he tries to pretend to himself that it's the early 2000s when 2026 is dawning. As the Democrats try their best to create a crisis, a deepening crisis that they can try to point the finger at the Republicans, a crisis and a shutdown that Chuck Smuck Toomer caused himself. The liberal global world order, the elites, corporate elites, all these fucking people have betrayed the American worker and the American citizen, and they will always throw us under the bus and throw us out the Titanic without a fucking life preserver. Always. Will it be those at Martha's Vineyard or Kenny Buckport? Will it be those that attended Yale and Harvard and Oxford that are thrown out the Titanic first? No, it will be us, the expendables, the bungled and the botched. Will the Bidens and the Pelosi's and the Schumers and the McConnells ever sacrifice? Will the rich men north of Richmond ever do anything for us? Will they ever represent us? Answer is hell fucking no. Hell can freeze over before they try to do that. Unless they just desperately need some votes or something. Or they desperately need to cling to power. Okay, there we go. Dun, 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 dun. Put this bad boy in here. Okay, get some eggs on there. All right, then we're gonna make maybe a little bacon sausage today. Yeah. I know the 75-year-old guy doesn't realize he's 75, so he tries to race me at the racetrack, and then he's like, "Oh, and I can drink more than you too." And how's that fucking working out? Not good. You can drink me under the table and race me at the racetrack? Good fucking luck. That's all I got to say to you. Achilles was a great warrior in ancient Greece and Troy before he got shot with the arrow in his Achilles tendon, you know. I guess those in corporate America in Washington, they think they're going to create a super soldier that's going to be a robot like a Terminator. And this robot won't have any weaknesses like an Achilles tendon, I guess, when they fight the next wars in the future. But if the Terminators and the robot warriors of the future are electronic, then I'll just use an electromagnetic pulse and disrupt their systems. We'll just pull the fucking plug, or at least I hope we can pull the plug. Well, maybe. Is today a biscuit day? Biscuit. Yeah. Is today the day of the biscuits? Taking care of biscuits every day. Taking care of biscuits every day. Now, can AI come up with that? I guess if they copied the Scott Wheeler algorithm, maybe they could come up with some kind of false facsimile of taking care of biscuits. But I can promise you Weird Al is frowning at this point. Taking care of biscuits every day. Taking care of biscuits every way. Yeah. Taking care of biscuits every day. Taking care of biscuits every way. Butter up your biscuits. Ooh. Everybody loves that one. They tried to take the old white man off the Cracker Barrel logo. The old, beautiful white man. The old, my granddaddy. Maybe one day the Democrats will try to remove white people from the founding of the United States. Maybe they'll try to remove the Lincoln or the Jefferson Memorial, or maybe they'll try to do something else atrocious. Maybe they'll try to remove all European and Caucasians and English and Irish and Scottish and European. Maybe they'll try to erase our entire European history from the United States. Maybe they'll try to get rid of us. I love you, Jula. You were a good girl going on your potty pad. Yeah. Schumer and the Schumer shutdown. It will always be called the Schumer shutdown. They can try to cause as many airplane disasters as they wish because they know they're not paying the TSA and they know they're not fucking paying the air traffic controllers. They know they're fucking us and they're doing it with a grin. Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer and the Democrats and Nancy Pelosi and Barack Hussein Obama. They're fucking us over with a smile. Bill Gates of hell and all these fucking oligarchs and motherfuckers that fucked us. Okay, I'm gonna take the poopy. Okay. War is peace. Freedom is slavery. Lies are truth. George Orwell, 1984. We are here, ladies and gentlemen, to the nightmare of communism and socialism and Marxism in the Democrat Party. We have arrived. gotta get some more poo-poo paper, huh? You got enough wobbly? So the Nazi Party began as a socialist party, obviously. Chairman Mao, who exiled Chiang Kai-shek while he was busy defending China from the Imperial Japanese, unfortunately, in World War II, was able to seize power over 80 years ago by killing millions and purging the old of the ancient Chinese. Chairman Mao of the Communist Chinese Party killed and purged millions of his own people. Adolf Hitler is no different than Zoran Mandami, except one is German and one is Ugandan Indian, but they're still both fucking socialists. Got that last can of biscuits, taking care of biscuits every day. Is it titty? Well, I don't have two, so I can't make a titty. I can make a dick, though. Well, small, but we can make a pee-pee. All right, there you go. Yeah. My schlong is rather decadent, you know what I'm saying? Kind of a gigantic schlong. Kind of a big wiener, you know what I'm saying? So the Democrats are hoping to cause all this chaos, all this airplane mayhem, and they're hoping they could steal the fucking 2026 elections, the gubernatorial and the congressional races, and the Senate and the House of Representatives. So the Democrats have a scorched earth policy. They're going to set everything on fire and cause as much chaos as they can through their George Soros-funded satanic Luciferian organizations. How is that guy George Soros still alive? How's that? He's sucking Satan's wiener. That's how he's still alive. He's doing Satan worship. Because if you notice, God's followers die a lot quicker. You know, Jesus Christ himself died at 33. But the satanic ones have unusually long life, like Emperor Palpatine in Star Wars. They just stick around. Stay. They stay, and they don't seem to die. They have unusually long life. The demonic possessed cretins seem to be around longer, don't they? The ones that have sold their soul to Satan. They seem to live longer, don't they? That's just an observation. I mean, how does George Soros, the man who broke the Bank of England, the guy who's funding all this disorder, and Alex Soros, how are they living this long? How? And here's the best answer I can give you. They're Luciferian devil worshippers. How did moron dim dummy get elected in New York City? Stupid, gullible people promise free stuff, and because he worships Satan. He worships Lucifer. You can destroy New York City and LA all you want, but you're not fucking taking Texas. As the distinguished senator from Tennessee once said, Davy Crockett, the great wild frontiersman of Texas and America itself, you may all go to hell. I'm going to Texas. You may all go to hell. I'm going to Texas. Who are the Rolling Stones? Who are the Rolling Stones? Ah. Hey. What is Germany? Okay, Sweden. Huh? Oh, yeah, you got water? Okay. Ba, 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 ba. Coca-Cola Classic can't beat the real thing. Just for the taste of it, Diet Coke. Who are the Batemans? Who are Justine and Justin Bateman? Here you go. Is that good? Hey! And you got your water. I love you. I'm making breakfast right now with the biscuits. I love you. Ba. Cray cray? Oh. Stop butchering the Queen's English, please, by cray cray. You can just call it crazy. That's ridiculous. Got those biscuits a cooking? Played that Mega Millions. It went up to 843 million. Yeah. I played the what is it? Is it 75 million for the Texas lottery tonight? Yeah. Bum, 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 bum. Da-na-na-na-na. Ready for that jet party? Yes, the photographic eidetic memory savant is here. Yeah, my friend actually from the movie theaters back in the day. I saw him. Remember everybody's names and faces because photographic eidetic memory. So if I saw you in a schedule in Taco Bell in 1995 when I was 15, I still probably remember who you are, and I can see who you are, except, time. The only people that aren't Satan and Lucifer worshipers and worshipers of power and control, people that do not worship that as their God, or they don't worship money as their God, even. For those of us that are like that, yeah, we are crushed by Father Time. Yeah, I know the latest Prager U video said Joe Biden was not defeated by himself; he was defeated by Father Time, because by the time he gained power through the fraudulent 2020 election and the Chinese Communist plague from Wuhan Virology Institute, he was already too old to function because he had prostate cancer they were probably hiding, and then had severe Alzheimer's and dementia. He was losing his mind at the same time. The new categories, huh? Books and authors? Atlas Obscura. Oh man, the geography stuff's always pretty hard, isn't it? Because it's a big world of all these different countries. Med speak? Okay, movie title, change a letter. Ooh. Wow, she knows all the books. Is she a librarian? What is to sear? The hot girl. What is a broil? Oh, I thought it was called a brawl. Oh well. They had this really hot chick though. She's not smart, but she'll set your pants on fire in bed though, guys.
What is fornito? Fornito is correct, yes. In the dictionary 2000.
She's angry at hot bitches. She doesn't get enough D.
State status from a church. This 12-letter verb is found within a 28-letter word. Allegra. What is disestablished? Yes, found in the
Disestablished. Only a nerd would know that, right? Not that does she live in a library? She never gets laid, but she lives in a library.
What's an ossuary? Yes.
She's going for it hard, huh?
Atlas Obscura goes to the ends of the earth, like the lighthouses of this northwest region of Spain, once considered the end of the earth. What is Galicia?
Yeah, everybody was not getting Galicia that time. That was a doot doot doot. I love it when even the smartest people can't get a question. They're like, "What the fuck?" That's funny. Huh? Oh, I do. I'm coming. Yeah. Oh, I'll bring it down. There it is. Oh, here you go. Oh, it's all right. I'll let you step to the front. Oh, no. Well, I got that tequila. No, I'm just joking. You want some vodka? Yeah. That vodka will set you right.
Tomorrow we're cleaning this house.
Okay, done.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter if they're there or not, but they're going to
I do house cleaning.
house cleaning and then
Friday what?
Friday afterwards, just have to get, whatever that was.
Oh, yeah, of course. Love you.
And of course,
Huh? What?
dying,
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
Or I guess he has a black girlfriend or wife, and he's a mixed race son, maybe.
Oh, in the movie?
Yeah.
In real life, he dates white women.
Yeah.
Yeah, how they always sneak in a black girl. I know. It's like, why? Like, if there's like white men are going gaga for black women or something. Yeah, right. They're usually the backup option.
Usually white women.
Yeah. Yeah, William Powell. Yeah. Or whatever. I know it's called Powell. Yeah, when I try to create AI content, they always put a black girl in it.
Usually white men don't want no fat.
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And Malty tells them what to do.
Yeah. 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 Glenn. His name is Glenn Powell, not William Powell. His name is Glenn Powell. Yeah, unfortunately, I do remember the girl that I worked with at Taco Bell from high school, because my memory is photographic. So I look at the schedule, so like my memory just takes a picture of things, and so I just remember stuff because my mind's taking pictures. Now, this does not include if I'm high on drugs or drunk or something. Obviously, it's not working at 110% proficiency if I'm wasted. But sometimes my mind and my body has to recoup from constant uh, photographic eidetic memory operations. So I have to take a break sometimes. It's not really healthy to drink, but I'm saying, oh wow, what is Cambodia? Yeah. This in Cambodia, Angkor Wat seems to show a Stegosaurus. Were there dinosaurs in this country? Cambodia. Yeah, of course. Cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Nobody knew CPR? Did I even know it? I knew it. If it had P, it had to be pulmonary because that means breathing. That means lungs. So that had to be, I don't know if I would have gotten the cardio part. Cardiopulmonary resuscitation. So we got the biscuits. Duh, duh. We're almost ready for the nooner. Yeah, and the final Jeopardy question. Is it going to be tough or is it going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy? Squeezy. So Kyle went on Jeopardy, and I said, "Oh my God, that's Kyle, but he's my age. We're not 19 anymore. We're in our 40s." He said, "But we're old because of Father Time, obviously." And so Mother Nature, Father Time, old age and death, in other words. You might be a doctor or a chimney sweeper, but everybody's gonna dance with the Reaper, baby. So Kyle my old friend and coworker made it to the final Jeopardy round. And, okay, sci-fi. And I thought, oh man, we were in the movies, dude. He's going to get this. Man, we were watching sci-fi and the Matrix and the fucking, we were watching all the movies. I know this guy's kind of nerdy. He's kind of a white nerdy dude. I was like, he's got this. He's got this. But it was not sci-fi authors of the last 70 years. It was sci-fi authors of the 19th century. Wah, wah, wah. Oh, yeah. Wah, wah, wah. Wah, 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 wah. You might get excited if you hear authors, but they didn't tell you what century it's going to be from, huh? Yeah, that's a little bit tougher. So he failed the question, lost. Yeah, that's when I did my my short video. It was like, go Kyle, go Kyle, go Kyle. We haven't talked since 1999, and so it doesn't remember me. I remember everybody, every face, every name I ever encounter. They forget about me, or they don't remember me. I guess that's a cool advantage, isn't it? I always remember. They always forget. Sometimes that's a blessing, and sometimes that's a curse. But as Frank Zappa said before he died, is it even worth being remembering or being remembered? Is that even important? Ba, ba. Okay. Oh, yeah. These biscuits do that final Jeopardy, and then we're going to bring it on down. Yeah. Get the, get a napkin. Da 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 da. Ooh. Okay, you ready for the final Jeopardy, everybody? Oh, 11th century Europe. Oh. You want to go with a royal funeral, 2 coronations? I'm going to write Sistine Chapel just because I don't even know where I'm at. Okay? Look, the nerd, she's like, I haven't had a dick in like my whole life. Oh my God. She's like, I get dick every night. Oh, wow. Oh, she did it. Oh, man, I was wrong. Sistine Chapel, what the heck? All right. Man, that's a hot chick, huh? You're going Indian? I'm going Indian. Westminster Abbey. Well, I don't really know much about my English building history, to be honest. Oh. Is she hot enough to get a little ding-a-ling? I think she's hot enough to get a little ding-dong. You know what I'm saying? Plus, she's got money now. She can get a little wee-wee. There's always a desperate guy out there. So she can get a little ding-a-ling. But the one hot girl's getting ding-a-ling all the time. She doesn't even know what ding-a-ling to choose. There's so much ding-a-ling. Oh, man. Well, that was the fun Jeopardy. Win some, you lose some.